Calvin Randy here playing Farming Simulator 22 on Prairie Farms, Michigan. And since last episode finished up plowing on field 9 here, so that field is done. I've since grabbed the cultivator. We're now over on to field 6 here. We're going to get this field cultivated. It occurs to me, I just happened to think about this as I was doing it here. We're not quite to the planting month here yet. We got to wait till the month of April. We're currently in the month of March. If I cultivate this field here today, there's probably a good chance the weeds are going to come back tomorrow. So maybe I should wait to do this. I just happened to think of that. Anyway, I noticed, Evan, as I was loading into the game here, it was really laggy for some reason. I realized there's an update here today. Or, actually, yeah, no, I think that was today. Or was that yesterday? Somewhere in there, Evan. Version 1.9, I believe, of Farming Simulator. So if you notice that the game is, like, really hiccuping. Oh, yeah, there you go. I believe it's probably rebuilding the shader cache. Speaking of which, by the way, I noticed, is it just me, or do the graphics look different? Maybe it's just me. Anyway, I think let's go sleep through the night, Evan. I think that would be a good idea. We'll get ourselves into the month of April here. I'm pretty sure the cows are all set here. I believe I checked them here already. And we do have all, let's see what that'd be, 960 cows here at this point. So, yeah, let's go ahead and sleep through the night. They should be good. And then we'll get into the month of April here, and maybe we can even start planting here this episode. We'll see once here. Wow. We'll probably stick with some field work, and then maybe next episode we'll get into some planting here, because I want to cultivate field 6. I'd like to cultivate field 9 as well. Again, we did plow it, Evan, and yes, I realize in the game, Evan, we don't have to cultivate, but for the sake of being somewhat realistic, Evan, I'm going to run a cultivator of some sorts across that ground, because again, you won't just plant on top of chisel plow ground. You just you won't do that. Oh, and speaking of cultivators, I do have enough cultivators for that. We got another cultivator sitting over there, so maybe I'll just, yeah, look. This is exactly what I was talking about. I'm like, yep, as soon as I go to cultivate this field, I'm going to skip a month, and the weeds are all going to be back. It's like, really? This field really doesn't need to be cultivated, by the way. The only reason I'm doing it, everyone, is because of the weeds. So I'll just back this back up here. I did have GPS set up already, but... well, yeah, once you load into the game, Evan, of course, it doesn't save your GPS lines, so alas, oh well. Let's see what's here. Get GPS going here a minute. We want 0 degrees, auto with that. Homing on the tractor, there we go, should be pretty good. Back up a little bit more yet. Nope. And it would help if I would lock the GPS on, wouldn't it? Wait a minute, that's not right. Try that again. There we go. So yeah, for those of you who have not seen it here, Farming Simulator released a version 1.9 update here. I'm assuming that's for all platforms here as far as I know, at least PC and console anyway, of course. And like I said, I've noticed the game is really lagging, especially when you start to look around everyone. Typical, I would say, of most updates there. A lot of times the shader cache needs to be rebuilt. That usually takes, I don't know, half hour to an hour of playing the game for that updates, and then usually your game smooths out after that, just the way Farming Simulator is, it seems like. I mean, I don't know, any other games that do that? Not that I can think of, everyone, but oh well, whatever. Anyway, speaking of the update, by the way, for those who wonder what was changed or fixed here, for the patch 1.9 here, the bug fixes include fix the discharge of the Coon SPW Intense, fix the state of the bale wrappers after save game, loading or joining in multiplayer, fixed visual fixes on the Classic Xerion, the Hardy Arion, the Howl SUW, the John Deere 6R, the Krone Big X, and the Manitou MLT 625. And then fix the start duration on the Zetor Z25K. Fix the server list not refreshing after canceling password dialog. Interesting. Then also there are some new additions here. Added bale and pallet storage buildings. Yes, I did see those. Those look pretty nice. TMR can now be transported with silage trailers. Added screen space shading rate option for improved performance. Probably explains why we're having some graphical recalculations done here, and the game is choking a little bit. Another change. Added support for up to 64 fruit types in modded maps. Hey, that'll be nice for the modders out there adding more fruit types. Definitely like the sounds of that. Oh, yeah, I like this one. And then they put a disclaimer under here. As with all major updates to Farming Simulator, you may experience shuddering on the first game launch after the update when using mods or custom graphic settings due to shaders being recompiled. I like how they blame it on the mods or custom graphic settings here, everyone, which I think, as you folks probably should know, is a load of crap there. As far as I know, I'm running on the default graphic settings. Everyone, I don't think you can actually see those here, and you got to go back out of the game. Everyone to get the graphic settings here, if I remember correctly, but yeah, we're just running the default very high or maximum, whatever it is, graphic settings, and we're still experiencing stuff. The game regenerates the shader file, everyone. So that's basically what's going on there, and it takes a while for it to do that. You know, you got to, if you want to get it done quick, everyone, your best bet is just, take a truck or something, just make a quick lap around the map, and that's probably, will get it updated much quicker than, say, doing what I'm doing here, because I'm just going back and forth across the field here. So as we get a little further away, a little closer, there might be a new region of the map that's going to come into view and need to be recalculated, so to speak. Well, speaking of calculating, Evan, I'm thinking we should probably grab another tractor here and our other cultivator, get that one started on field 9. We'll probably just have I don't know, course player, hired worker, or maybe what I should do, Evan, is I should do the outline of this field, then I can throw a hired worker on this, and then I can have, well, then I can grab the tractor field 9, start on that field. That might be a really good idea, Evan. That actually sounds like a really good idea there. Hired workers sometimes can do a better job than course play. Sometimes. Depends a lot on the field, of course. One thing, of course, with course play is it's going to tend to miss in the corners, which, for what we're doing on this field, not a big deal. And I guess technically for field 9, not really a big deal either. And then I do believe I've mentioned this here already as well, one. Tentative plan here at this point for this map, Evan. I am planning on wrapping up this season on the map here. So once we are done with this season, well, maybe when I say season, I should say, planting summer and harvest. Once we are done with harvest, Evan, I'm planning on wrapping it up here for this map. And we're going to be switching maps here, hopefully. And my tentative plans at this point, Evan, are to do a map where we start with nothing. Start from scratch. I've never actually really done a full start from scratch map, everyone. So I thought this might be kind of fun. So if you folks have any good suggestions, and I'll probably ask again as we get a little bit closer to the actual time, because we'll probably be on this map for sure another week, I think, everyone. Maybe another 2 weeks. I'm not sure yet. However long it takes us, finish planting and get through summer, because we got some cows and stuff that need to be fed. We'll probably do some baling and all that good stuff as well, of course, everyone. And then a harvest. So we've probably got at least another week, probably a week and a half, I'm going to say, everyone. So probably a week and a half's worth of episodes here, I bet. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see once. Kind of all depends how it works out, right? And then, like I was saying, everyone, I'm hoping to do a start from scratch series. So, and when I say start from scratch, I'm talking absolutely nothing. Zero money, zero equipment, zero land, zero nothing. I think that's a divide by zero error. Zero nothing is nothing. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that is kind of my tentative plan here at this point. So again, if you folks know any good maps you think would work out really well for zero to prosperity map, or I'm not sure what we would call the series yet. We'll have to figure that out, everyone. But let me know. Let me know. Oh, turning a little too sharp here. Actually, speaking of turn too sharp, yeah, do I want to do a headland? Problem is, if I do a headland, it's going to take like the entire episode. Probably just do the headland, and by the time, wait, folks, out. It takes forever. I'm going to just go around the outside edge of a field, right? Ridiculous. I'll run the cultivator. Rotate the GPS around too. I'll read it. Shifting the line over here a little bit as well. Wow, I never realized how close we were with our little path or road here. I didn't, Didn't leave much space there, did I? Guess not. And we'll turn the GPS around here another 90 degrees. Still interesting, everyone, and I'm curious as to why we do not have weeds in certain parts of this field. Again, the entire field was the same crop. It's been treated the same way. I don't know what's up with that. Kind of strange. Because, yeah, if you look at the map, everyone, and I know I pointed this out here last episode, I'm still like, what the heck's up with this, right, everyone? Ooh, speaking of which, by the way, turn that on, because I bet you our grass is ready to be mowed here again. Like, what's up with this half the field not having grass? What is up with that one? We harvested this with, did we do this all with one? No, I guess we did probably use both combines. Although I don't know what difference that would make. Like, what difference would having different combines? They're both the same header on the combine. No idea. And then, of course, we had the same thing on field 9. You can't see it anymore because we plowed that field under, so the entire field's been plowed. But we had the same thing on field 9 as well. Parts of the field had weeds. Parts of it did not. Now, that field at least was harvested with different combine headers, although that did not seem to affect the results at all from what I could tell. Oops. Should have had the GPS line over a little bit more there, I guess. Oh, well. Like I said, not super critical, everyone. Oh, yeah. Nope, wrong way. Alt page up and page down, by the way. Shifts the GPS line for those you're wondering. Okay, and while we're having fun going up and down the field here, or as I like to call it sometimes, up and down the field simulator, let's head over to our comment section here and see what we got for some comments here. So Matt was saying, we're out here in Oklahoma. We do not use pumps and hoses. Interesting. I'm curious. Anyone else around the country that might be watching here? Is there anyone else that uses essentially the pumps and hoses? Basically, what's in the game here as far as the pumps and hoses DLC goes. Again, as I've already mentioned, we do have a couple of farmers around my area that do use it to some extent or another. Maybe not quite to the full fancy effects like you see in the game here, but it is used around where I live. Actually, pretty good, I think. For example, again, the farmer around here that uses essentially the pumps and hoses, I'm not sure what else you call it. They pump manure out the field, right, Evan? Their pump for pumping the manure is actually mounted on the back of a semi. So they've got an old semi where they've put the pump. I'm assuming it's probably running off an auxiliary PTO. I'm not entirely sure. Or they've got it running off the main drive shaft. Again, I can't quite tell when. It's a little bit hard to see how they have it set up. But they have an old truck with a great big old pump mounted on the back of it for pumping the slurry. So they usually put that out by the field. So again, the farm that's where I am at, Evan, they're so big that they literally actually have miles of underground pipe where they actually pump it out to different sections of their farm. And then from the sections, then they have another pump there that pumps it out to the various fields, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, give you an idea of how big that farm is, right, everyone? They're so big that they've literally laid underground pipe where they literally pump the manure out to the fields. And I know a lot of folks seem to think that's just counterintuitive. Maybe in some ways it is, everyone, but again, you got to understand the amount of work, labor, trucks, the amount of equipment that goes into just spreading slurry. If you switch that over to just underground pipes and hoses, now you maybe have, again, in the case of this farmer, you've got one truck that you're using as a pumper truck, you got a hose, and you got an applicating tractor. And usually you have to have at least one more tractor, too, to manage the hose, so you got at least three, right? But that's there you go, and that's your entire setup, right? Now, I hate to ask how much it costs to lay underground pipe to pump slurry, but whatever. The Fisher Jay was saying water is there to make the slurry thinner, so you can run the pumps with a lower horsepower tractor. Also helps reduce the wear in real life. Which, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Especially depending on the source of the slurry, how liquidy it might be. Christopher was saying, good video, keep it up. Hey, thank you very much for that. Christopher also said, I wouldn't mind playing with you on Farming Simulator 22 so I can learn more if you don't mind. Hey, I've mentioned this before, Evan. We do have a multiplayer server, so if you'd like to join me for some multiplayer, you're welcome to do so. That information, again, down below in the description there. For those who haven't seen it, we're currently on a Spanish map there, by the way. We're playing with olives and grapes and pistachios and I think it's almonds, if I remember correctly. The almonds and pistachios, of course, as you can probably guess, are a modded crop type. There's a couple other modded crop types on that map as well, like lentils and that type of thing. It was lentils and chickpeas? I think it was lentils and chickpeas, if I remember correctly. So yeah, a couple of cool modded crops on that map. Available on the official Farming Simulator mod hub, by the way, in case you want to check it out. The almond and pistachio harvesting oven. If you folks think olives and grapes are a pain in the you-know-where to harvest, oh, you folks haven't seen anything until you try the pistachios and the almond harvesting. One lousy tree at a time. And again, for those of you who have seen my live streams, you've seen me do it a few times here. So a reminder, by the way, for the live streams, RDAllen over on Twitch. Again, that's RDAllen on Twitch. Link is down below. That's where you can catch the craziness that involves almond harvesting. I don't think we need quite that much. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. The edges of my fields aren't super straight here in a few spots, just because, for those who remember when we first started this map, we had very narrow field boundaries, right, everyone? And I went through with the painting tool and painted the widest width brush I could between all my fields, just hopefully try to help the hired workers a little bit. Hired workers are, they're special. Oh, please wait, lagging out while we switch cab views. Wow. Notice how not smooth it is here. Give it a couple seconds. Evan, it should smooth. Yeah, there we go. Now it's already back smooth. Yep, we're good. Oh, there was a little hiccup yet. That's not necessarily maybe the track. That might be just looking out in that direction. Something's out that direction there as well. But yeah, now we're looking pretty smooth, that one. And then we switch back. Boom. Just, yep. Again, all has to do with reloading that shader cache. I still chuckle at that message Giants left on there. Apparently Giants knew that this one seems maybe a little worse than normal, but it's maybe because Giants did a little more work as far as the graphics are concerned, which, again, maybe it's just me, Evan. Does the game look different? Maybe I should go check my graphics. Maybe Giants reset my graphics settings or something. I don't know. I want to go check that. Okay, I think we're going to throw a hired worker on this job. And then, as I was saying here a few minutes ago, we're going to go grab the other tractor here. And we'll start on field 9. 9. Oh, let's see what's here. The 500 or the 540. Yeah, probably. Ooh, well, there's the green tractor, too. You know what? There's the green tractor, Evan. Yes. The 9530T or the 540. I mean, the green is obviously the better choice. Although, with that being said, I mean, the red tractor on the red cultivator, that does look pretty nice. We'll put the green tractor on the red cultivator, I guess. Nothing wrong with green and red together, right? See, now, if I understand it correctly, I mean, the way this works, if you pull a red piece of equipment with a green tractor, you know, there's definitely some sacrilege there, but it's not horrible, right? Now, if you do it the other way around, if you pull a John Deere piece of equipment with a red tractor, I'm pretty sure you get struck for lightning for doing that, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that's how that works out. So we should be safe doing this. You haven't pulling the case cultivator here with the green tractor. That should be okay. Definitely some sacrilege going on here, but I think we'll live. Now, if only I could get that house out of the way right there, we'd be all set. That house is kind of annoying over there. For that matter, this little jut out of land is kind of annoying as well, which I realize I could get rid of that almost ever if I wanted, but it is kind of nice to have it there for parking trucks on when we're harvesting. It does work good for that. Okay, GPS, you're up again. This time we want a 90-degree course. I know, right? We lower down? Nope. Now we are. GPS locked on, away we go. Oh, and by the way, going back to Christopher's comment here, if you'd like to play multiplayer with us, everyone, you can find that information down below in the description of this video. We ask that you please join us in on the RDAllen multiplayer server. Again, anyone is welcome to join as long as you can play nicely, follow the rules. And for those of you wondering when I'm typically on, at least as of late, everyone, it's been Tuesdays through Thursdays, at least as often as I can make it anyway, everyone. So again, that's Tuesdays through Thursdays, usually around the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. And that's under Daylight Savings Time now, by the way. Yes, hope you folks enjoyed your Daylight Savings change over here. Actually, if I have any viewers watching, I think, is it Europe or all Europe? Or England? I forget how it is. I know there's a country or two that do not change over at the same time we do. I think, is it England? I think they wait like another, is it a week or two, right, everyone? Yeah, that doesn't make time messy or complicated at all, does it? No, not at all. Okay, yep, looks good to me. Lock the GPS back on. We got a ditch on this side of the field, so that's why we got to shift it over here just a little bit. The first part of the field over there does not have a ditch, which actually is rather interesting, because where does that culvert go then? Wonder where that goes. It might go all the way over to... No, I don't know. Does it? I don't remember if there's a ditch over on that side or not. Or if there is, I think it's a ways down. Whatever. Ben was saying, not sure how the game works, but in real life, when you clean out your lines, you put a foam pig or ball in the hose and hook the hose to one or more air compressors and blow the line. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yes, that is how it's done. I knew I'd heard about that before. So yeah, for those who are wondering how you clean those hoses out in real life, like Ben was saying, they put a foam pig or foam plug in there, or a ball. I've seen that done as well. When they put a ball about the size of the pipe, and then they'll shove that ball through the pipe, and that'll obviously push everything out of the pipe, or the hose. And of course, hopefully you can retrieve, in the case of a ball, retrieve it on the other end there, and you can usually reuse it. The foam one, I'm not sure if they can reuse that one or not, but... Sounds like, okay, this is kind of cool here. Ben says he's done this here in real life, so very, very cool. He says it's very efficient, which is what I keep trying to explain. I mean, I know a lot of folks in the comments don't seem to think it is very efficient. I'm thinking maybe that's most folks are maybe not as familiar with the slurry application here. Again, I'm on normal, or what most folks think are probably a normal slurry operation. There is a lot of equipment involved, especially with tankers, and obviously you got to have all the manpower to run all this equipment as well, right? You know, multiple trucks going back and forth between wherever the slurry is, the manure, and also the amount of wasted time that occurs as a result of this, right? So again, doing the whole pumps and hose, I mean, the thing is if it's set up right, is a very efficient way of doing it. You keep everything moving that way. Less people. Definitely probably a little more upfront cost due to the hoses and the pipes and the pumps and all that good stuff. But anyway, Ben was saying I used to do this for a living. It's very efficient, and we had miles of hose, up to 5 or 6 miles of hose, and booster pumps. Underground pipes are the best, uses less hose, and when setting up in the field to be applied on, you cut the field into quarters, then split those quarters in half or on a diagonal, and work each side of the hose instead of going straight up and down the field. And that's why your other guy comes into play, also known as the hose humper. Ah, yes. Okay. With the big metal wheel behind the track. Yep, that is exactly what I've been talking about. You got the guy, as Ben calls it, the hose humper. That the best terminology I can use for it is manipulates the hose, keeps the hose in the right spot, right? And as he says, he's got that big metal wheel behind the tractor. It's a big horizontal wheel. I don't know how big it is. Fairly good size, Evan. And like I said, it's used for moving the hose around a little bit. Well, Evan, looks like it is almost time to wrap it up here for this episode. We're almost halfway around this field. Once we get halfway around, Evan, I'll probably just throw a hard work on this job here as well. And then hopefully next episode, Evan, we'll come back and we'll probably start some planting here. We'll get the planters out and get them fired up. We'll also need to, actually, let's check our grass field here because I turned that on. I'm guessing it's ready to be mowed. Yep, there we go. So that is ready to be mowed. We'll probably start on that here. Actually, I'll maybe once I'm done recording, Evan, I'll start on that, get that going. And then we can continue working on that here next episode as well. Just keep the grass and the hay and the silage and all that stuff just coming in for our cows if we can. Didn't have to buy anything this past winter for the cows, Evan. We had plenty of feed. Of course, it helped. We let them sit empty for a couple of months there as well, just to kind of let everything restock, which it did do, by the way, Evan. I was concerned it wouldn't actually restock with no cows in there, but it did actually restock, so... For those of you wondering, when it runs out of feed, maybe just give it a month before you fill it back up. That way, the feeding robot has time to fill the building back up, and then you should be good. And, yeah, so far, I think we're staying full, right? Hopefully, anyway. Not 100% full, but it's fairly full, I guess. And, yeah, other than the mineral feed, looks like we're looking pretty good from the menu side of things here. Anyway, with that, I think we'll wrap it up here for this episode. So on that note, if folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, Evan, thanks for watching. Until next time.